this is Governor Daniel Malloy. A couple days ago on the 7th, Tuesday, he said in response to the epidemic of the Ebola virus, currently affecting multiple countries in Western Africa, and in order to provide the Commissioner of Public Health and other appropriate officials with all authorities necessary to prevent any potential transmission of the Ebola virus within the state of Connecticut, I hereby declare a public health emergency, just like the President of Liberia did, for the state, pursuant to the Connecticut General Statutes, Section 19A through 131A, for the duration of the epidemic, specifically in accordance with Connecticut General Statutes, Section 19A-131B. I authorize the Commissioner of Public Health to order the isolation or quarantine under conditions prescribed by the Commissioner of Public Health of any individual or group of individuals whom the Commissioner reasonably believes, doesn't have to be tested, to have been exposed to, infected with, or otherwise at risk of passing the Ebola virus. Again, Daniel P. Malloy, October 7th, 2014. Guys, what does that mean? It means just what the parliamentarian and Liberian was talking about, a police state coming. Again, think back about all the different things that happened last year with all the supplies being moved into the Northeast. Now, I know Connecticut is north of New York, just barely, so definitely in that region where all of the vaccines were sent, as well as protective hazmat suits. A lot of training went into that area. Now, you've got to realize what this says, and we're going to look at these statutes also, both 19A, 131A, and 131B. But as soon, and listen, in this area is classic for false flags. But let's look at the universal citation. We'll point out a couple of things. It says this is Connecticut General Statutes 19A 131A. I went and looked it up. It says in the event of a statewide or regional public health emergency, the governor shall make a good faith effort to inform the legislative leaders specified in subsection B about this. Goes on to say is to order the commissioner to implement all or a portion of the public health emergency response plan. Listen to this. Authorize a commissioner to isolate or quarantine persons in accordance with 131. Order the commissioner to vaccinate persons in accordance with sections 131E. Order the commission to suspend certain license renewal. They're talking about your driver's license and inspection functions during the period of the emergency and during the 6-month period following the date of the emergency. Do you understand what they're about to do? And there's reports that they're going to that members of Homeland Security are pushing very hard to get this vaccination on your driver's license, whether or not you have been vaccinated. And you will have to have that for a lot of things. But it doesn't get any better if you read through the entire thing. You can pause it and stop it and read it, and there's other sections of it, but I'm pointing out the police state things. But they're talking about any declaration issued pursuant to this section may be renewed by the governor upon its filing with the Secretary of State and with the clerks of the House of Representatives and Senate. How long will the outbreak last? Will it last for 2 years where there will not be another election because of it? All of that will be halted because you will become a military police state. Now, look at the center of this. It says any individual who during the course of a public health emergency declared under this section violates the provision of any ordered issue pursuant to the sections are inclusive or who intentionally obstructs, resists, don't resist the vaccinations, hinders or endangers any person who is authorized to carry out and who is engaged in an activity that carries out any of the provisions of the order shall be fined not more than $1,000 or imprisoned not more than 1 year, or both for each offense. Probably never be seen again. But listen, they can delegate any employee. It's not a voted elected official that will choose whether or not you go to prison and whether or not you have to have the vaccine. Any employee of the Department of Public Health or any local health director will have the authority of the commissioner described in this section as the commissioners determine appropriate. Such authorized employee or director shall act as an agent of the commissioner. People have talked about false flags for the last couple of years, and red flags, every kind of flag. This is the one. It's real. We know Ebola is real. We don't know how it became as real as it did. Is it man-made? We've heard everything in the world about this disease. We know that there's patents held on it. But here it is. They have everything in FEMA Region 3 ready. Now Connecticut is stepping in, walking in lockstep with Liberia's president. Let one case break out. Now it won't happen overnight, but they're setting it up. Now it is in place. No one got to vote on this. Now again, we got to look at it realistically. You've got to isolate the disease, but is it put there on purpose? We need to pay attention to this, guys. It's a heads up. We're going to update it. Be safe.